Ahoy there, mateys, and welcome back to Windrose. Today I've built a shipwreck here in my pirate town, and of course first we'll take a tour around the brand new shipwreck, and afterwards I will show you exactly how I built this so you could follow along or at least take some inspiration for your own build projects. Of course, kind of depends on the location, but you could build a similar project definitely anywhere where you have a decent cliff face, or wherever you want to have, I guess, a shipwreck kind of leaning against something. It definitely makes for a beautiful backdrop as we walk around the market square and the docks here. I really love this new view that we have with the shipwreck. So as always, if you enjoy seeing these types of builds and you want to continue to see more, make sure to like the video, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and feel free to leave your suggestions for future Windrose builds you'd really like to see down in the comments below. So for now, we'll slowly make our way up to where the shipwrecks are. There's two parts. There's the front part that we just saw, the one right over there, and then there's the back of the ship right over here, which is a little bit on the other side of the cliffs that I have here on my island. And I think it makes for a really cool addition to the base, a really cool decoration, and just adds so much character to the place, in my opinion. So I've got these new staircases up to the shipwreck just because it saves me a lot of time walking all the way around the place. And then this first shipwreck is right over here. So this is kind of the back of a ship, where we have the upper deck right here. We have a mast that has fallen down. You can see some bits of wood still against the side of the cliff over here. You can also see glimpses of a different project already up there too. But yeah, it adds a nice little ship deck here. It's a little bit, of course, crooked. It's been damaged. It's been kind of crashed into the mountain, so it's not like perfectly straight, which actually really helps with building because you can't really make mistakes when you're building something that's supposed to be broken, which definitely helps out a lot. And then I added in a bunch of little decorations around just to still add a bunch of character and life to the place. We got a very flimsy staircase over here leading from one part of the shipwreck to the other part around the side of the cliff. And then here again we have the front part. We have some more masts intact, a lot of ropes hanging down using these smaller sticks, and a nice front of the ship really pointing outwards here, which definitely helps add, well, some quite cool vibes to the place. A really cool look at the very least. And yeah, just this cool shipwreck sticking out from the side of a cliff here. You can see the masts rising up. They are interconnected. Got those little ropes hanging everywhere. Some flags on the top, of course, to make it even more like it was once a proper ship. And for me, this is definitely one of my favorite additions. It's definitely a little bit messy here and there, but again, that kind of is the beauty of a shipwreck. That kind of makes sense for a shipwreck. So we do have a little bit of a inside here as well. It is very crowded and just a bunch of little goods everywhere to just kind of fill in the parts that are visible and accessible here. But yeah, it's been a really fun project to work on. I love it as an addition for the base, and you can see I integrated it quite well because it's also a way further up to the top to this fortified section where we have a new light tower. So yeah, it's kind of like an interconnected part for a lot of the base, and I mean, I really like the way it turned out. I had a lot of fun trying to get this together, trying to get this build, and I did record the entire process. There's no voiceover because obviously it's a lot of trial and error, but at least I wanted to show you that process for if you want to build something similar, you want to see how I did certain things, and you want some inspiration for your own shipwrecks, because it's definitely a good vibe to add to your base. And especially seeing this over here, I am very, very excited about this all. So yeah, there we go. That is the new shipwreck edition. Let's take a look at how you can build it for yourself, or at least how I built this on the side of my cliffs. So finally I finished the shipwrecks here on the base, and you can also already see a different build up there. Not sure which order the videos will be going out, but we have the shipwreck here sticking out of the cliffs. I'm very happy with the result of this. I think this is exactly the kind of vibe I was going for, just to add a little bit more of that pirate feel to the town. It's definitely a really nice sideline up here to just, well, make it feel more like a pirate town rather than just a regular town, I suppose. I've also added a new way up to the shipwrecks and extended this little shipwreck here at the back, mostly just the floor. So yeah, there's now a staircase up here so that we can easily get up there, so I don't have to walk all the way around every time, because initially the main staircase was around the back there, which wasn't quite convenient enough. We of course have the little shipwreck over here with some decorations on the deck just to bring it all to life a little bit more, and then I connected the two with a little flimsy staircase here. Then we have the front part of the ship, definitely looking very cool out here, adding a lot of character to the place. And we even have access to the decks below, although it is quite dark in here, but it is all decorated to bring it fully to life. And it's actually a pretty nice viewpoint over some of the rest of the town. And it also functions as a way to get up to the top layer where my lighthouse is. So yeah, we can actually go all the way up here and reach the lighthouse, which is currently the highest point, of course, in my town. But yeah, these shipwreck additions were a great idea, in my opinion. I really like the way they look, the character they add to the place, and it was just fun to build something very, very different from most of the normal town buildings. And especially after I did the dry dock, I really wanted to give this a go. So hopefully you enjoyed this build. If you did, don't forget to leave it a like. Subscribe to the channel, of course, if you haven't already. I really appreciate all the supports. And of course, as always, feel free to leave your suggestions for future builds down in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you again in the next video or the next stream. For now, goodbye.